Hello, football fans. Hello, spring football fans, USFL fans, and XFL fans. Welcome to the XFL Fan Zone. Well, let's get to it. It looks like the USFL is going to have player selection meetings next month. Looks like February 22nd, 23rd, they're going to have player selection meetings. It looks like they're going away to the Alliance of American Football, and they're going to allocate players based according to region. Now, which I really have no problem with it, because it actually did work good for the AAF. The purpose of them doing it this way is to make sure all teams are equally good, which I think for a spring football league, you can't have teams that are top heavy good and top heavy bad, because if you're going to get interest up around the league, as I said for XFL 2.0, after 8 weeks of playing football, you want every team to be 4-4 and everyone in the playoff race, and not knowing and guessing who's going to make the playoffs those last 2 weeks. For TV ratings, merchandise ratings, attendance, that's exactly what you want. And listen, other than the Atlanta franchise and the AAF, I thought the teams were pretty good. I mean, obviously when it comes to these leagues, quarterback play is everything, and the ability to protect your quarterback. Now, if you remember, even though the AAF didn't have a draft, they allocated players according to region, they still had a quarterback draft, and I love the way they did it. I'm going to try to find the quarterback draft for you. I'll have a link posted down on the bottom. If you didn't see it or didn't know, I think it was on the CBS Sports Network, which a lot of people really don't have, because it's an added network, but you got to pay more for. And other than Army Navy football and a few sport events of the year, they don't get a lot of action. But I love the way they did it. They did it pretty high class. It was in Las Vegas. Even though with a lot of quarterbacks you'd never heard of in your life, they made them feel important. It was a good way to build up the AAF. Like I said, I think the AAF had a good thing going, except for one major thing. Financially, they weren't ready. Dick Ebersol Jr., who said he wouldn't rush things, did exactly that. And we were at the mercy of, I can't remember his name, the Carolina Hurricanes owner of the NHL. Once he decided it wasn't working for him, there went that. But yep, player selection is becoming more and more reality. February 22nd, 23rd, they're due to kick off sometime in April. So, let's just hope with things going on in the world that they don't try to screw us over again. And I hate to speak in code, but let's hope that Charlie 19er does not ruin things. Because I'm getting sick of this crap. This is why the only two sports I've really been paying attention to is the XFL and the rebirth of the USFL. Alright, anyway, let's talk about some XFL news. Looks like a lot of our, because of Charlie 19er, a lot of our players are getting chances. Looks like veteran quarterback Josh Johnson, who was good in both the AAF and the XFL, is now, looks like he's with the Baltimore Ravens now, because of what's going on in the world. Jordan Tiamu joins the Carolina Panthers because one of his former competitors, PJ Walker, is out because of Charlie 19er. The former Ohio State quarterback, Cardale Jones, has said he wants back in the XFL, which is great news. He started out real good. He fell off a little more back, but hey, this is what this league's about. This league is not just about finding the next great NFL player, and send to the USFL. It's about seeing those old players you saw in college that you enjoyed watching, and you get to see them again. And again, if you're saying, well, this is second-rate football, but listen, second-rate football is still competitive among athletes. I mean, it's no different than Division II college football. Is it like Division I? No, it's not. But that doesn't mean it's terrible either. And listen, these players are hungry to see their talents displayed on national TV. Here's their chance. This is what you want. So, let's see. Oh yeah, but the XFL, as of, 3 days from now, we're 1 year away from the start of training camp. Looks like training camp is going to start January 9th of 2023, which would give them, they're going to start kickoff February 18th of 2023, 5 weeks of training camp, which is good news. Why was XFL 2.0 so successful? They gave these guys the training camp that they needed. And hopefully these guys will also get the mini camp they need as well. Now it'll be interesting how they are going to draft their players. It'll be interesting that they do the draft like they did for 2.0. They do it by skill position, then by offensive lineman, then defensive lineman, which I hope they do. It worked out good. I thought the talent around the league was, like the AAF, was even. The only difference between the Houston Roughnecks and a lot of the team is their quarterback play was better. And this, like I said, I don't care what league you start. If you don't have good quarterback play in your league, you're not going to last long. So these guys, there's a lot of good talent out there. I'm hoping Jordan Termu comes back with the Battlehawks. I'm hoping we see PJ Walker come back. I think we will. Taylor Heineke, I don't know. We may not see him again because he's doing pretty good in the NFL, but Cardale Jones looks like he's determined to come back. I'm hoping Luis Perez comes back. There's talent there, everyone, where we can see some good spring football. And listen, and after what we saw last Sunday at MetLife Stadium with Antonio Brown walking off the field the way he did, it's just another reason why I'm just sick of the National Football League. I can tell you right now, I have not watched an entire game this year. That's how sick of it I am. Anyway, let's talk about trademarks. It looks like the XFL has files for trademark brands in Mexico and Canada. Now, what does that mean? It could mean they're trying to explore teams in it, or it could mean just merchandising. We don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not much of a businessman either when it comes to this stuff. If you got some input, let me know. But they have made it clear they want to be a global league. It looks like they're trying to beat the NFL to it. Listen, this is my thought on making this league global. We've been down this road before. If you guys are old enough for my age, remember the World League of American Football, which was started by the National Football League. You had 10 teams. 6 in the United States, 1 in Canada, and 3 in Europe. Remember, we had the London Monarchs, the Frankfurt Galaxy, the Barcelona Dragons, the Montreal Machine, and the U.S. teams. If I can remember them, you had the Orlando Thunder, the New York, New Jersey Knights, the Birmingham Fire, the San Antonio Riders, and I think the Sacramento Surge. Those are your 10 teams. And listen, and the league didn't last very long, but you know, I'm going to say this. The WLAF had a good thing going, but they made the same mistake everyone else did. They didn't give their players a big, good enough training camp, and the first 2 weeks, it was ugly football. For the most part, I can't say all 10 teams were playing ugly football, but it took about week 3 till you saw the change. The same thing with XFL 1.0. It took them a little longer because that was an entire rush job. But again, financially wise, I mean, you look at the world right now, and whether you want to believe it or not, even though the US dollar is still the strongest in the world, that's not saying much right now. Anyone who goes to the gas station and buys food knows that inflation's up, which means the Canadian dollar and the Mexican peso are even weaker. And to try to put teams in all three continents with the differences in dollar and the difference in tax systems. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. If I'm a player, just for my reasons alone, I'd rather play on a mediocre team in the United States than a superstar team in Mexico, because do I want to get paid in pesos? Now, it may be relevant to what living in Mexico is like, but being that you're going to be living down there about 2-3 months a year, and you have to live the rest of the year in the United States, the difference between the peso and the American dollars, it's you playing for peanuts. I don't think it's a good idea at all. I'd just stay away from it. I would wait for economic conditions to get better. I leave it open. Call it the North American Football League. Fine by me, but I'm sorry, but the world monetary system has to improve if things are ever to get better. This is just too risky. And if you want to avoid having top-heavy teams in the bottom half, this is what you want to avoid. If you don't believe me, just go look at Major League Baseball. Let's go look at Major League Baseball. So we got the rich teams are always on top, and the bottom teams, they got to constantly rebuild, retool, rebrand, retool. And they do get a chance to win every so often, but in a spring football league, this is not what you want. I've been saying this, and I'll say it again. Take the handoff from XFL 2.0 and leave it alone. Build the 8 teams you have already and go from there. Now, there's rumors they may add a 10 to 12 teams. Listen, if they want to do that, fine. They all better be in American cities, though. We don't need this headache. All right? We've been teased enough with spring football. One day, I'm hoping one of these leagues will take off. How many chances are we going to get at having a spring football league before people decide, you know what, this is not even worth it no more? All right, another news. It looks like the XFL going after coaches. It looks like head coach Hugh Jackson of Grambling State University down in Louisiana just turned him down. And listen, he seems to be loving his job down in Grambling State University. That's the South is big with college football. It's not just a sport down there; it's a way of life and a religion on the college level. So I don't blame him for that. And listen, could you blame him? With the success we saw the AAF at XFL 2.0 for different reasons, obviously, I'd rather just go where I know I'm going to have a job. Now, there's a chance. I don't know what Bob Stoops is doing these days. I'm not sure if he was hired for someone else, but it'd be great to get Bob Stoops back in the XFL. I think it'd be great to get Kevin Gilbride, the guy who coached my beloved New York Guardians, to come back, because he says he wants to coach, but he doesn't want the long 20 hours work week like he did in the NFL. He wants to coach again, but he doesn't want it to be draining. And let's face it, those college and those pro guys, it's a 20-hour job day. And with this, we get somebody like Kevin Gilbride back, or even better, Steve Spurrier. He was awesome with the Orlando Apollos. We get someone like him back. I think those are the coaches we need to go for. Old coaches who want to coach again, just don't want to work an insane amount of hours. Or someone like Pep Hamilton, who was an unknown name and wanted head coaching experience for his resume. And listen, he did a pretty good job with the Washington Defenders. And speaking of the Washington Defenders, looks like the Washington Redskins, aka the Washington football team, is going to announce their new logo February 22nd of 2022. There are all kinds of rumors they're going to try to take the Defenders' name. Now, I hope they don't do that, because if the NFL does that, that's a smack in the face to the XFL. And it's just another way the XFL may try to bully the XFL. Now, it could be the NFL's response to say, you want to take the Houston Oilers logo for the Houston Roughnecks? F you people. Listen, from what we see, Looks like the Houston Roughnecks are going to have to change the logo. Alright, fine. Change the logo. Keep the colors the same. Those uniforms were sharp looking. Those silver helmets were beautiful. Again, no need to reinvent the wheel here. But if the NFL is going to go after the Washington Defenders, I hope the XFL takes them to court. Just my opinion, everyone. So it looks like that's it for now. That's all I have for you. I'm sure there's more stuff coming our way, which is fine. But anyway, it looks like the XFL, which I thought was going to shoot themselves in the foot by talking to the CFL, may work in their benefit now. With all that's going on in the world with Charlie 19er, it actually may work out to the XFL's advantage. Because as we see, the USFL is going to start with every team playing in Birmingham, Alabama. Looks like they may play in a bubble. Listen, half the enjoyment of going to a pro event is the atmosphere. And the reason why I couldn't get to the TSL too much was there was no atmosphere. It was empty stands. We'll see. We'll see. Let's hope things get better in the world this year, where maybe we could have fans in the stands in Birmingham for the USFL. That's what I want more than anything else. And hopefully by next year, things are a lot better, where the XFL could just take off with no turbulence, and we could have ourselves 2 football leagues. All right, folks, fans, let me know what you think. God bless you all. We'll talk to you later.